Yeah, CHAMON is back at North Miami. So he's a kid from North Miami. Transferred to so he played there, became known there as a defensive end, outside linebacker, just defensive athlete par excellence. Transferred to Miami Central last year, won a state championship. Everything was playing for them, and then also started to transition a little bit in terms of his playing engagement on the field. Go back to that last question. I want to read it before you go on. Got it. And now he's transferred back to North Miami. But the transition on the field was, instead of being this 6'5", 230, 35-pound outside linebacker, edge rusher, defensive dynamo, he wants to play offense. And he's like, oh, yeah, like whatever, like a wide receiver, tight endish, whatever, things like that. And as soon as I saw that during the season, I said, oh, no, that's not going to work. Not here. You know what I mean? Like, we recruited him based upon, if you go back and look at like his freshman, sophomore film on defense, that's why we recruited you, to do that, to be that guy. But then you're saying, oh, I don't want to be that guy anymore. I want to be this other guy. Maybe that works out for you, and I wish you the best. But we here were recruiting you on being this other guy. And yeah, it was a thing. Like he's big and strong and fast. He looks like he loves contact. I mean, he passes the eye test. If you get off the bus and you're like, oh, like which jersey am I going to buy? That one, that guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he looks the part, but apparently he doesn't want to be the part of a dynamic defender. So yeah, as soon as I saw that during the fall, I was like, okay, if he changes his mind, it's like, yeah, okay, I was just doing it in high school to show that I'm versatile, but I'm gonna stay on defense. Cool. So he's like, nah, I want to play offense. Sorry, buddy. That's it's over your pay grade, at least here. So yeah, he decommitted to go elsewhere. I mean, because then again, we got the Elijah Arroyo. I should know that. That's my favorite name from the Bible. Elijah and the prophets of Baal. I'm not going on it, but I'm just saying that story when I was a kid. Boom, Elijah. Love that name. Anyway, but you get Elijah Arroyo from Texas, and then you have Khalil Brantley from Miami Northwestern at tight end. And okay, cool. Are you as good as or better than either of those guys? No. Are you fast enough to play actual wide receiver? Because, they was like, oh, well, he's kind of like Calvin Johnson size and blah, blah, blah. They made like one of those, man, who's 6'5", 238 at the combine, running 4.33 or whatever it was. Like, everybody's not a Calvin Johnson. So, I mean, yeah, he's similarly sized, but is he that kind of fast and twitchy and just, polished and everything? I don't see that in him. So if those two answers are no and no at tight end and wide receiver, then, we wish you the best in your search to find a collegiate home elsewhere. So we'll see what happens. I don't think if he doesn't want to play defense, I don't think that there's a spot for CHAMON here at Miami, to be perfectly honest. And I think that was borne out with this decommitment. And, I know that some people are a little hesitant or, you want to bring up, Miami's decommitment you because we've had so many early commitments and things like that. That's not, you can't hurt me. My shirt today built off hate. Like, y'all can hate all day. Like, I'm good on that. Could there be other decommitments? Sure. Thaddeus Franklin, the running back, he posted a prayer hands emoji on Twitter the other day. So I saw a whole bunch of people, posting the Jim Carrey gif from me, myself, and Irene. Oh boy, here we go. So there's that. Obviously, Savion Collins has been committed here, but most everybody and their mama knows that he wants to go to Florida and is trying to get a time where he can have his mama go up to Gainesville and then certify the fact that he can actually flip over there. So that could be a thing that happens. So we'll see. And then obviously none of these other guys are fully committed until they sign. But the other thing I wanted to say, and I wanted to clear up from last week, it's not the fact that there's so many more decommitments now that is the arbiter of future movement. it is, or the harbinger, excuse me, it is the fact that there's so many more commitments right now. I saw Bud Elliott, good friend of mine. He's now at 247, and he was talking about the fact that the 247 graphics editor who does all the little, committed cards that you see on all the articles and things, he was like, yo, I know I'm working from home, but like I'm overwhelmed with the number of requests because for commitment edits from these players. So that, obviously the content's going to go out. They've, communicated with 247. Okay, cool. This guy committed here. This guy committed there. He's like, yo, it's crazy. Like, I can't keep up, is what the graphics editor said about all the commitment cards that he was tasked with making and is still tasked with making. And the stat that I got backwards is it's not that there's more decommitments now than ever. There's approaching 700 commitments at this time, and you've got another 6 weeks until potentially campuses open up for visits. So you're probably going to be in the 700 or 800 number of commitments. That's more commitments at this point of the cycle than any two of the last 3 cycles combined. If it keeps going to this level, this year is going to have more commitments probably by August than the last 3 cycles entirely combined. There's guys who are locking down spots somewhere now. And then if and when things open up, they can start to visit, they can start to play games, have camps and evaluations, and then it's going to be on like Donkey Kong. People are going to say, cool, I got that offer that I wanted, drop you, go here. There's other guys there's going to be a mad dash later because there's so many more guys who have committed somewhere and locked in a spot now. That's just it's a placeholder. And a lot of these commitments should be looked at like that.
Yeah, it only makes sense. As Cam just stated, the stat that I saw was roughly the same, that that there are roughly twice as many commits at this point in time that there typically are. Therefore, you would think going forward that there are going to be more decommits because you had more players commit.